We just could not enter the industry as the entrepreneur. In 1997, I went to a campaign planning workshop in India for the first time. I traveled over there. ATL, BTL, Hafiz Center को proper blue revolution ले आए, markets में जा रहे हैं. And by the way, branding a shop is still one of the best ways of communicating with the end consumers. When we brand a shop, people actually walk into the shop and there's a footfall increases by 4 times and the sales increases by 3 times in those shops. So, and by the way, ChatGPT gave it to me. So,
the market dynamics are changing from the millennial to the Gen Z and Gen Alpha. So, how I wanted to ask that how do you create sustainable products which are not only good because of their marketing, that you're building a perception in minds of people, but also they're sustainable in terms of their long-term growth.
आपका मार्केट शेयर पहले काफ़ी ज़्यादा था, वो रिड्यूस होता गया, कंपेटिटर्स आई लीग्स है, देयर नहीं है, मार्केट शेयर रिड्यूस होता गया, मोर देन हाफ हो गया एट दिस स्टेज. सो अगर मैं द कंज्यूमर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जब देखता हूँ इन्फिनिक्स की कैंपेन,
खोल आँख, ज़मीं देख, फलक देख, फ़ज़ा देख, मशरिक़ से उभरते हुए सूरज को ज़रा देख. वो सुबह उठेंगे तो मशरिक़ से उभरते हुए सूरज को देखेंगे ना. Digital marketing. Digital marketing is very, very important, but I had a discussion with Badr Khushnood, I had a discussion with Ma'am. Thank you so much for inviting me over. She's already a star, so I thought I dare not enter in her domain and come and talk about the theory and the slides and all that stuff. So it was very easy to pull out few slides, show you 20 slides, few videos, TV commercials, and say, this is good. But the idea was to inspire you people and see the questions that you might have in your minds, what's in there for me. So I started my class 8 a.m. and this dude just shows up at 7 o'clock and he's going to show me the slides. This is quite unfair. So I thought might as well make it a little bit more interactive, try to share a few stories, my story, my journey from a very, very basic advertising domain into mainstream media, into the digital world, which is now going to be taken over by the AI, and agentic AI is also around the corner. So there are quite a lot of things. So I started my career end of 1995, starting 1996, 2nd Feb. I was doing an internship before, so I started off from the advertising circuit. In the advertising circuit, I started from the Orient McCann Erickson. Orient McCann Erickson, I used to be the key account person, so there used to be no concept of digitization. There was no email whatsoever. The only thing we knew was the TV commercials banane hain aur humne shoot pe jana hai kisi na kisi tarah. So which means that it was extremely difficult and unthinkable for all of us to even fathom that we could ever have our own business, because the entry level was so high. We just could not enter the industry as the entrepreneurs. A basic account, आजकल के ज़माने में 5 करोड़ की कोई value नहीं है. I'm talking about 30 years back when the dollar was well under 25, 30 rupees, and then, which means that 5 crore was a very, 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 very big amount. So Halib used to be our account, Nestle also used to be our account, and all these brands we used to, कहते थे 5 crore की advertising होती है, and those brands do not exist as big brands and they are not recognized as big brands. So as a key account person, I would go to the client. Client is also not very aware. Few people, few guys and girls graduating from LUMS, working as the brand managers, assistant brand managers, and they would give us a brief. And then we go back, we start writing the debrief to the creative person. There's a creative person, there's an art director, there's a copywriter, and we would, try to understand the brand, intrinsic, and there were very, very few opportunities to learn. So we were starved of the knowledge. We did not have the research. We did not know the pulse of the customer or the consumers. And moving forward, So there were no researches, only one research done, a UNA study. Usage and attitude study would take like 3 years. In 3 years, we would do one. There used to be some Coca-Cola used to do some pulse studies. We would do that, but information was not there, and we would rely mostly on the information coming from the creative and the art directors. And when they would say कि ये ad ऐसा ही बनेगा, तो हम कहते थे बिल्कुल ऐसा ही बनेगा. Brand manager के पास जाते थे. Brand manager under under the influence of their own power as the brand persons, they would say कि मैं कह रहा हूँ मुझे ऐसे ही चाहिए. Eventually they would only come up with one kind of template, vignette background, बड़ा सा एक पोस्टर बन गया है, उसके नीचे एक टैग लाइन बन गई है, ऊपर एक नेस्ले का लोगो लग गया. Same would go for Coca-Cola. So people, the consumer insights were completely or mostly missing, and we would come up with the campaigns with the whims and the desires of the people. I move into a corporate world, and I get into a company called another agency, and then eventually move to Tetra Pak and start as a communications manager. So this is like May 2000, and things are getting a little better because there were more channels. Previously there used to be only one channel, PTV, or फिर NTM आया, फिर STN आया, and then the regional channels started coming in. So there was a lot of money being flown into the advertising circuit, and so the tools were available for the regular kind of advertising. So what kind of advertising would we do, and what kind of marketing would we do is like TV commercial चला 30 second का, उसके 10 second की adaptation की, और 60 minutes का एक और 60 seconds का एक और बना दिया, and there is no other medium to communicate with the people. और अखबारों में बड़े बड़े ऐड लगा दी और रेडियो पे स्पॉट्स चला दी. That was it. And then IMC started coming in, integrated marketing communication, where we would do the BTL, below the line activations शुरू हैं. And we would call it brand experience, living into the lives of the consumer. So we started placing the brands in not only the TV commercial, dramas के अंदर, फिर हमने वो चैनल टेक ओवर कर लिया, फिर हमने ब्रेक्स के अंदर ब्रेक बम्पर्स लगाने शुरू कर दिए, and the communication started to go on and on to marketing. So I can talk about the other piece of marketing, but I'm mostly looking at, since we are actually moving our discussion towards the digital marketing. In 1997, I went to a campaign planning workshop in India for the first time. I traveled over there. I understood the concept of how to position a brand and all this stuff, how advanced those markets were versus us. And I started using different knowledge. For example, started understanding the consumer insights. How many people do understand the consumer insights? So let me just explain. There is an information, there is an insight. So what is information? Information ये है कि there are 90 students sitting over here, right? And there is another set of information is available कि यहाँ पे 3 different groups के लोग बैठे हुए हैं. But the insights are कि what do they like, where are they coming from, where they hail from, and what are their interests, what are their psychographics, what are their demographics, and how do they behave in a different part of the day so that we can communicate with them in a different manner. These are the insights that we generally lack in the normal life. So which means that where do we get this insight from? So I'm coming to that point a little later. So advertising started evolving, marketing started evolving, and this is 2000, and things started to explode when the satellite channels came in. 2016, I joined Samsung as a country head, and then I have the advertising with me, and then we get a direction from the top management, and the top management says, we have to go digital. And we say, what digital? Facebook पे ऐड चलाएंगे. ये I'm not talking about बहुत ज़्यादा 9 साल पुरानी बात है. Facebook पे ऐड चलाएंगे, चला लेंगे, रिजल्ट तो कोई आना नहीं है. We were still doing TV, ATL, BTL, हवीज सेंटर को प्रॉपर ब्लू रेवोल्यूशन ले आए, markets में जा रहे हैं. And by the way, branding a shop is still one of the best ways of communicating with the end consumers. When we brand a shop, people actually walk into the shop and there's a footfall increases by 4 times, and the sales increases by 3 times in those shops. And people think that this is a branded shop. So which means that you're actually communicating with the consumers at different touch points. Our digital budget used to be 20%, 80% conventional, and everyone is talking about it. Nobody knows how to do it. So digital advertising के बारे में बात हो रही है, and fast forward, COVID comes, and there's a lockdown, and everyone is glued to their screens, and Food Panda key sales explode, and people are becoming tech savvy, and people have started using the technology. And especially the Gen Zs and the young people, they are using the technology, and we're going to be talking about how they are using the technology. Now, this has given the birth to the digital savvy agencies. So, 20 years back, I'm talking about a time when it was practically impossible to even think कि मैं अपनी एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसी बना लूँगा या बना लूँगी. It was not possible. एक ग्राफिक डिज़ाइनर बैठ के कंप्यूटर में बैठ के कुछ ना कुछ काम करते रहते थे. Now the world is opening up. You have the access to the international market. You can get work, and you can do digital communication. So there is an agency by the name of Digital Dost. I talked to their owner Musa. मैंने कहा कि मैं I can show international commercials and all this stuff, but I need to know your success story. And these people started very small, and they got one client जिसमें 35,000 रुपया बच रहा था. About 2021 की बात है. कोविड के दिनों में ऑस्ट्रेलिया से वो अपनी सारा कुछ छोड़ के आ गया कि माँ बाप के पास रहना. And I said कि 35,000 रुपये का काम है और करते हैं. And then they realized they made 100,000 rupees by giving some digital services to one of the brands. And they said, if we have 40 clients of that sort, we can do that. So what they did was they started a very small agency with few people, and they started communicating with the end consumers. And I'll just give you example of 2 successful customers. There is a place called Shakargarh. कौन है शक्करगढ़ से या उसके करीब से? Shakargarh could be a remote area. So आप समझ लें कि यहाँ से कसूर की बात कर लें, इसी तरह का एक छोटा एरिया. वहाँ पे एक फैमिली है जहाँ पे सब लोग पढ़े लिखे हैं और 20वें, 18वें, 20वें ग्रेड के ऑफिसर्स हैं. एंड दीज पीपल आर मेकिंग डिसेंट लिविंग, बट एट द सेम टाइम एक उनका बेटा नालायक निकला था और वो डॉक्टर नहीं है. उसने BBA CBA कर लिया किसी छोटी यूनिवर्सिटी से. एंड he somehow stumbles on the opportunity and he says कि यार I want to do something. And this dude and his wife, they start importing the undergarments from China. कंटेनर से लिया और एक अपने फेसबुक ऐड लगाने शुरू कर दिए, कुछ करना शुरू कर दिया. एंड दे ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड प्रॉब्ली सब वीलॉगिंग भी उन्होंने शुरू कर दी कि कंफर्ट एंड व्हाटएवर. And in a matter of no time, these husband and wife are making a sale worth 1 crore a month with a net profit of 15%. It was all through the use of the digital marketing. And there's another guy who just knows how to sell bags. वो शालमी में या सदर में bags बेच रहा था. And this guy started increasing the inventory, and what happens is he starts selling the bags, and bags बेचते he also imports from somewhere. और वो महीने के कितने के bags बेचता है? 2.5 करोड़ रुपए के. Net profit 15 से 20%. कितने पैसे बनाया? कितने पैसे बनाए? 30 और 7 37 लाख रुपए महीना नेट एक बंदा बना रहा है बाय यूजिंग द डिजिटल अरीना. अब हो कैसे रहा है? दिस इज व्हाट वी आर सपोज टू टॉक अबाउट कि ये होगा कैसे. और आई एम श्योर कि मैम आपको बता भी रही हैं, आपके बाकी टीचर्स भी आपको बता रहे हैं कि हाउ टू यूज डिजिटल टूल्स. सो आई एम हेयर टू inspire you with all these stories. I'm going to be telling you more stories about more digital companies who are doing it. Now, यहाँ पे I get a lot of queries from a lot of people. वो मुझे कहते हैं कि जी मुल्क में कुछ नहीं है, हमने बाहर चले जाना है. मैं बाहर बहुत जाता हूँ और मैं छुट्टियाँ भी वहाँ गुजारता हूँ, लेकिन मैं पाकिस्तान में आके रहता हूँ और मैं इसके बारे में कुछ थोड़ा बहुत सोशल मीडिया पे बोलता भी हूँ. एंड आई जनरली से कि वहाँ पे भी काम इतना आसान नहीं है, राइट? यू बर्न योर कैश, यू गो ओवर देयर and then eventually realize that you need to start all over again. Might as well hone new skills and start using them for your own good. पाकिस्तान के अंदर e-commerce is over $9 billion industry है. It's a $9 billion industry. $9.6 billion एक reported, unreported number है जो कि I talked to another. I'm on the board of some Pakistan e-commerce association. वहाँ के एक बहुत बड़ी एजेंसी के हेड हैं. And I was on a call with him at 5 a.m. today. And I just wanted to understand कि क्या business तुम्हारा चल रहा है. And this guy told me कि it's 9.6 billion and it is growing at the rate of, it's 9 billion growing at the rate of 16.7% every year. The e-commerce. अब आप ये सोच रहे होंगे ये हो कैसे रहा है ई-कॉमर्स का काम. ये छोटे छोटे बच्चे ये काम कर रहे हैं. I'll give you an example. There's a runner in my office. वो मेरे पास आया, उसने कहा सर ये मेरे मोबाइल पे देखे, तो मैं समझा मेरे से पैसे मांगने लगा. मैंने कहा डूड ये इसको 3-4 हज़ार रुपया देना पड़ेगा, मेरे से पैसे मांग रहा है. रनर्स होते हैं तो वो कोई ना कोई. तो मैंने कहा क्या दिखा रहे हो? कहते हैं सर ये देखें इस पे पैसे क्या लिखे हुए. तो रिटर्न 1,20,000 रुपया. कहते हैं सर पिछले महीने देखें 1.5 लाख रुपया, उससे पिछले महीने देखें 90,000 है. तो मैंने कहा ये कहाँ से पैसे आ रहे हैं तुम्हारे पास? तो उसने कहा आई हैव अ सन हु इज 17 years old and he buys thing from Shahalmi and he sells over there and he makes this kind of money. उसने घर में छोटे छोटे बच्चे बिठाए हुए हैं, मोहल्ले के जो क्रिकेट खेलने वाले बच्चे थे 8-8, 10-10, 12-12 साल के बच्चे, वो पैकिंग करते हैं और वो पोस्ट टैक्स वाले उठा के ले जाते हैं और वो काम कर रहे हैं. एंड देन वो कोई परफ्यूम्स बेचता है. सो मैंने कहा ब्रिंग हिम ओवर. He came to my office and I asked कि बेटा क्या करते हो? And he said कि सर मैं ये काम करता हूँ, अब्बू की तनख्वाह आपको पता कम है तो मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है. तो मैंने कहा इसको स्केल अप करने का तरीका क्या? कहता सर मेरे पास अगर 5 लाख होना तो मैं 5 के 25 बनाऊँगा, 25 का 1 करोड़ बनाऊँगा. तो मैंने कहा डू यू हैव एन अकाउंट? उसने कहा नो आई डोंट हैव एन अकाउंट बट माई डैड हैज़ एन अकाउंट. मैंने कहा गिव मी द अकाउंट नंबर एंड आई जस्ट ट्रांसफर्ड 5 लाख रुपया उसके अकाउंट में राइट there, over there, sitting in the conference room. मैं कहा this 5 लाख रुपया है, मुझे 25 लाख बना के दिखाओ. Obviously, he was over ambitious. He did not know because वो छोटे छोटे काम तो कर रहा था. But what he did was in the next 20 days he made 7.5 लाख रुपया उसमें से. So he, out of 500,000 he made 750 and those 750 में उसने बेचा क्या? And he brought the inventory of the perfumes. एंड परफ्यूम्स क्या आपने पटाखा बिरयानी के ऐड देखे हुए कि दिस बड़े अजीब किस्म के ऐड होते हैं बड़े. एंड ही देयर इज अ मैन हु इज जस्ट डूइंग इसको, ही डज नॉट इवन हैव द बजट. सो वो अपने आप पे स्प्रे करता है, कहता है ये मेरे लिए है और ये मेरी बीवी के लिए, ये स्प्रे करता है एंड दैट्स इट. एंड ही इज जस्ट रनिंग द एड्स. उसने कहा जी मैंने 50,000 रुपये के फेसबुक पे ऐड लगा दिए हैं और बाकी शॉपिफाई पे बेच रहा हूँ. सो ही कलेक्टेड 50% ऑफ द इन्वेंट्री ही सोल्ड एंड ही कलेक्टेड 750,000 रुपीज़ and he still had the inventory left with him. So उसके 4-4.5 लाख का उसने 3.5 लाख का सामान खरीदा, 1.5 लाख का सामान बेचा and the total revenue उसके पास जो total top line उसके पास इकट्ठी होगी it was like 750 and then he netted off Facebook के उसने पैसे वैसे निकाले थे, लाख हो गया. Then eventually became 6.5 लाख रुपया. So 5 लाख से आगे चला गया. Now he is now working on the other products. So I just want to tell you all while you are sitting in these classes and the barriers that we used to have and we could not think of anything else but to go to the corporate world and work. So to be fair on our part, doing business is definitely difficult. Doing business in Pakistan is even more difficult, but doing business in those times was like hell. Nobody would give you the advertising services because there are no small agencies, there are not small tools, you cannot approach the end customer properly. And what happens is, we became the working class. So few people got lucky, got promoted and coming to LUMS and giving lectures, and few people did not get lucky. And but the choice is yours if you people are going to go further in your life and use doctors, a service, as a person who's actually giving knowledge to the end customers about health, instead of waiting for the people to come to the client to the clinic. Our MS Technology Management में I'm sure there are people who are sales, marketing, कोई computers बेच रहे होंगे, कोई mobile phones बेच रहे होंगे, कुछ FMCG products बेच रहे होंगे, and वो technology में अपने आप को evolve करना चाह रहे हैं. And undergrads कौन से हैं, जरा हाथ खड़ा करें. उनको पता ही नहीं है कि उन्होंने क्या करना है ज़िंदगी के अंदर. वो तो सारे टाइम रीलें ही देखते रहते हैं और उनको तो ये भी नहीं पता कि उन्होंने करना है क्या ज़िंदगी में. तो उनके लिए मैं बता दूं कि you people can do something in life. So while I was coming over here, so I thought I should tell you about my dream. So dream about 3 different people. So I'm going to read this out for you people and let's see if you guys like the dream. So here is a dream for the doctors. Can I have a hand raise for the doctors? कि वो dream है. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day all the doctors in Pakistan will stop only writing prescriptions and start writing Instagram captions. Instead of saying, take 2 Panadols, they will say, hit like, subscribe for more health tips. So, Dr. Saab, कुछ करना पड़ेगा आपको यहाँ पे भी. I have a dream for the MS students. I have a dream that all the mid-career managers who once proudly sold fax machines, थोड़ा पुराना हो गया, fax machines, landline packages, will now sell cloud solutions and e-commerce strategies. And yes, I have a dream that one day you will finally explain to your children what AWS, Amazon Web Services, actually means without them Googling it. So I think mid-career वालों के बारे में. And my favorite undergrads, my daughter is also sitting over here, she's an undergrad student. And I have a dream that all the students who are already experts at making memes during class will one day make memes that actually sell products. My dream is simple. Doctors will heal online, managers will reinvent online, students will grow online, so that we can create a digital Pakistan. So I think this is quite possible. मैं कुछ अर्सा पहले अगर ये बात करता तो ये ड्रीम पॉसिबल नहीं था. So and by the way, ChatGPT gave it to me. So it was my prompt, and I just I want to write a Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech, and I have a dream. So I said, they could have given me a lot of dreams about the Gen Zers sitting over here who do not know when to sleep. वो कहते हैं ना, खोल आँख, ज़मीं देख, फलक देख, फ़ज़ा देख, मशरिक़ से उभरते हुए सूरज को ज़रा देख. वो सुबह उठेंगे तो मशरिक़ से उभरते हुए सूरज को देखेंगे ना, वो तो रात को सोते ही नहीं हैं. So अब क्या करें? What do we do about it? So let's get inspired from a little bit of more stories around us. So like I said, TikTok. Somebody said to me, I was in a business corporate meeting. I traveled. I was in US with my family, and I got a call from my boss. Ke, why don't you come early, a day early for a meeting, because you need to come. So I had to spend extra money, change my flights. Came, instead of coming to Lahore, came to Karachi on 24th of last month. And I presented, and the presentation was a hit. And I was very happy. And those who have seen my social media, I'm a little active on social media. So, and the MENA president says to our marketing director, look, Ahmed, if you do not get anyone, so you can use your country head who's a TikToker. So I was a little embarrassed because TikToker has become more of an abuse. But on the hindsight, when you think of it, there are about 500 million videos that are being uploaded on TikTok. It is one of the most progressive social selling platform. Now let's talk about the dream for the doctors and see how we can use the digital media and make them more productive members of the society. They are productive, but we can utilize their knowledge. So my idea is basically, okay, suppose if we pick one practicing doctor, is there a practicing doctor over here as well? So a practicing doctor, I'm sure they would be doing it as well. So a practicing doctor gives prescription, and I have a lot of friends who are doctor. I could not become a doctor myself, मैं इतना like था ही नहीं, इसलिए लम्स आ गया पढ़ने के लिए. So the dream about the doctors, other than the prescription, what the doctors should do is, they should not wait for the patients. They should not wait for the pharmaceutical companies to give them all the facilities to write the antibiotics to those who do not even require it. So that is a trap, because you eventually get into that trap. So if somebody says कि ये नहीं होता, ये बिल्कुल होता है, और होना चाहिए, नहीं होना चाहिए, डॉक्टर्स को क्या करना चाहिए? So you need to build your personal brand. देखें, for someone to sell a product to a bigger set of audiences is spend a lot of money and go for a shotgun approach and reach a lot of people. But for you, if you're running a clinic and you have a clinic somewhere in defense, and for you to capture all those people who are living in defense and who are looking for certain such key points, you can do that. But you do not tell them, okay, if you have any disease, you come to me. You say, I'm a doctor and I'm telling you, you should stay away from medicines and do these things. So when you are giving favor to someone through your social media, through your Facebook, through your YouTube, and you are consistently available on all your pages, and somebody will start liking you and they'll say, yeah, he's a very, very good doctor. He's not mean. He's not trying to mint money out of me. I would like to go and see them, because there are certain diseases where you require the doctor. So you do not require the doctor कि गला खराब हो तो सीधा antibiotic खा ली. So which means for digital marketing for the doctors is very interesting, important, and cheap. But at the same time, your content management is very, very important. So which means that you need someone who can give you consulting. So you actually jump to the MS technology के लोगों की तरफ. Those got the experience. They only need a layer of digital knowledge on top of the experience they have. And they say, Dr. Saab, we're going to find someone who can do that job. And this MS technology management person finds the undergrads. I will find someone who does not sleep at night, who give you a brief in the evening, they will work overnight, and next day they will deliver. So which means that the three groups of people sitting over here can start working for each other. A doctor needs a content, a consultant will help you have a look at things properly, and the one who's going to be executing also sitting in this class. So kya ho gaya? One is the practitioner, the other one is consultant, the other one is a worker. Because undergrads की सबसे बड़ी जो quality है LUMS की, वो ये है कि they are very good at making memes, right? About the friends and teachers. Maybe मेरे भी एक आध meme निकली है वहाँ से. So वो हम कहते हैं कि यार कुछ भी हो सकता है. मेरी बेटी के मुंह पे हाथ रख रही है कि बाबा ये नहीं बोलना. अच्छा, she is the one. अच्छा, memes होता है. I'm sorry for that. ये Gen Z की language मुझे नहीं आती. Anyways, मैंने पढ़ा ही ऐसे memes था मेरे ख्याल से. Memes. I'm sorry. All right. So which means कि we are using these people. Now let's zoom ourselves a little bit out and let's talk about the journey that Umer had with different brands. Then Umer tells me that there are certain brands which are making a lot of progress, and I've written their names as well. So आपने डॉक्टर अफान कैसर है मेरे ख्याल से, उसका नाम शायद सुना, उसकी बहुत सारी पॉडकास्ट वगैरह आजकल आ रही होती हैं. And his wife's name is Nazish, and they have launched a brand by the name of Nourish. Can anyone imagine what would be their annual revenue? I have the unconfirmed number, but anyone can anyone imagine what kind of number? जी. Content. 3 crores कितने million होते हैं? Any other guesses? कितना? एक महीने में बना रहे हैं 3 crore? Okay. Anyone has any other guesses? Let me just give you a number. He started his podcast from his home and he started meeting with people. He started making it more relevant. He was talking in Urdu. He was talking to the customers. Then he brought his wife in. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And he's not telling you his revenue because I know his revenue. Yeah. I'm saying brand. I'm not saying you make content and you make money out of the content. YouTube video se nahi hai. He has created a personal brand for himself, and through the e-commerce platform, he's making 600. You go and ask him because I have checked from the market. He's making this much. And if he's telling you he's not, he is actually. So it's a matter of great pride for us. Okay, a Pakistani brand, and in the wake of all these multinationals, these brands are making this kind of money. There's another company, Dadi Mooch के नाम से एक है. And Dadi Mooch, yes, कितने लोगों ने बोला है? Any idea how much are they making? They're making anywhere to the tunes of a month. Dadi Mooch through products. And they're giving all those products. There is another export leftover, ELOs. Story here, the father made an order coming from a rich family, made an order for $1.5 million. They exported. The customer did not buy it. They only could export about $500,000 worth of stocks. $1 million was left. A son comes from somewhere abroad, studied the digital marketing like you people have studied, comes and says, Dad, let me just sell it through the e-commerce. And he started selling it. And now this thing has become brand. This one, ELO, export leftovers. And then possibilities are unlimited. One is Mushk. Mushk ke naam se. This is like in 6 years' time, it has become a 5 billion rupees. So I am living a pretty decent life, but I cannot even fathom making $1 billion in 5 years, or 10 years, or maybe 20 years. If I continue to work as a country head, I can still have a very decent life, travel the world, business class, achhi gaadiyan, but I cannot even imagine that I can make this kind of money. I go as a guest speaker, and I went to this place called Tech Titans, and I'm talking to few people, and then a lot of young guys, they start surrounding me. They say, sir, we're very impressed with your journey. Aapko thoda sa journey bata do, not to brag about anything, but Samsung I joined, and I was rated among the top rated leader for first 6 years, 2016 to 2021, 22, and I'm still among the top in the whole Middle East and MENA region. They sent my name to Samsung Leadership Innovation Center. Leadership Center, वहाँ पे Samsung Electronics Leadership Foundation program के तहत there is a 7 minutes video about me on the conflict resolution category, how to manage people, how to make the most out of, and how to bring people to speed to become the great leaders. अब वो सारा कुछ हो गया, and I am talking about all these stories, how I manage my team, how my team is great, and all that stuff. And these 5-10 dudes, they come to me and they say, and very, very basic guys, किसी ने शलवार कमीज पहना हुआ है, किसी ने crumpled shirt पहनी हुई है, and don't even know how to talk, and they say, okay, we want to talk to you, and I'm doing business, and I'm doing Google AdWords का कोई काम कर रहा हूँ. अच्छा, क्या करते हो? कहता है कि सर, I've got 50 employees, और मेरा turnover ये है, और मैं हर तीसरे महीने एक एक मर्क लेता हूँ, कभी कभी मैं लैंड क्रूज़र लेता हूँ, कभी कोई गाड़ी लेता हूँ, एंड आई ट्रैवल द वर्ल्ड एज वेल. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज़ आई डू नॉट हैव अ पर्सनैलिटी लाइक यू. सो तो मैंने कहा आई डू नॉट हैव द मनी लाइक यू. सो कहता है कि वो तो मैं आपको नहीं दूंगा, लेकिन मैं आपकी पर्सनैलिटी से कुछ बोरो करना चाहता हूँ. And I've got a lot of other friends as well who want to learn how you're managing your team, because we want to evolve the culture of the organization. We grew too fast, too quick. So to be fair on their part, they haven't seen the corporate world. And the unfair advantage that I have is traveled all over the world, 35 मुल्क फिर लिए, दुनिया देख ली, फेलियर्स भी देख लिए, सक्सेस भी देख ली, और दुनिया जहान की हर किस्म की amenities enjoy कर ली. So for me to come as a slick, clean guy versus those people was pretty easy. And they said, okay, why don't you come and motivate my team? अब इस तरह के 17 लोग हैं who want to meet people like me so that we can educate them how to run their organizations. But why I'm telling you all these stories? I'm telling you all these stories. You could be one of those people. The opportunities are humongous. They are enormous. आप लोग रिजेक्ट जब होते हैं, जब हमारी जैसी कंपनी में 2 साल में या 1 साल में एक पोजीशन निकलती है और आप लोग को अंडर वैल्यू करते हैं कि मुझे मल्टीनेशनल में नौकरी नहीं मिली, तो फिर आप कहते हैं कि व्हाट डू आई डू, पाकिस्तान में तो कुछ है ही नहीं रखा हुआ, कुछ करने को नहीं है. सो हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि ये डिजिटल मीडिया है, इसको हम लोग अंडर यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं, डिजिटल मार्केटिंग को अंडर यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं. वी आर अंडर एस्टिमेटिंग आवर ओन पोटेंशियल. सो व्हाट डू वी डू? आई थिंक दिस इज द मोस्ट important class that ma'am is running for you people, because she is giving you a depth and breadth of the whole tricks and MS technology management especially. आप लोगों को सब चीज़ें समझ में आ रही हैं. You can be your own boss. You can have your own days and nights. You can have the control and you can have the money. And for those who are worried कि मेरी personality multinational वाली नहीं होगी, वो मैं नहीं समझता, क्योंकि आप लोग इस इंस्टीट्यूट से पढ़ के जा रहे हैं. So you have already experienced that. But those who are lacking or lagging behind, they can always approach people like us, जिन्होंने पैसा तो नहीं देखा इतना, लेकिन उन्होंने ये सारे के सारे स्टाइल्स देख लिए हमें. सो वी कैन ऑलवेज, यू कैन बोरो ऑल दोज थिंग्स फ्रॉम अस, और इफ नॉट यू कैन गो टू टेड टॉक्स, यू कैन आस्क जीबीटी, यू कैन आस्क फॉर आपके मैनर्स क्या होते हैं, मैनरिज्म क्या होता है, स्टेक होल्डर मैनेजमेंट क्या होती है, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस क्या होती है, एंड देन ऑल द सॉफ्ट स्किल्स दैट यू नीड टू हैव टू रन योर ओन बिजनेसेस इज गोना बी वेरी वेरी ईजी. टेमो के बारे में एक बात बता देता हूँ. टेमो इज अ चाइनीज ब्रांड. चीज़ें बेच रहा है 1,000-1,500 रुपए की. बेचने वाले कौन है? चाइनीज. खरीदने वाले कौन है? पाकिस्तानीज. एंड इट इज ग्रोइंग बाय लीप्स एंड बाउंड्स. देयर इज अनदर प्लेटफॉर्म by the name of Jinko. Jinko is a Pakistani version of, I would say, a Shopify, but it is a platform which helps all your payment, all your ordering, all your sourcing things placed in one platform, and you can analyze what you're doing. So go try out e-commerce websites. There are Pakistan Stock Exchange is doing the best. And just to give you more confidence, a lot of people say कि यार पाकिस्तान के बारे में इतनी पॉजिटिव बातें क्यों करता है. I travel the world. Europe is down. कनाडा जहाँ सारे लोग पकों के पक जहाज भर के जा रहे हैं, वहाँ नौकरी नहीं मिल रही. ठीक है, मिल भी रही है, नहीं भी मिल रही. But the cost of traveling is pretty high. I just posted a video और मैंने कहा जी I went to Canada and I love my country. इन लोगों ने एडिट की थी and all this stuff, and few people said very good. And the guy did not hear me out fully, because in the whole podcast I said, if my kids want to go abroad, I would not stop them. Brain drain हो रहा है, होने दो. You want to go out, I would not stop you. If you want to stay over, I would encourage you to stay over, not at the cost of not going out, but by upskilling and learning something. अच्छा, ये आपने सारा काम सीख लिया, तो एक बंदे ने कमेंट उसमें किया, उसने कहा डोंट लिसन टू हिम, डोंट लिसन टू हिम, ही हैड हिज फेयर शेयर ऑफ फेलियर्स एंड सक्सेस. He is one of those very few people who got successful in life in Pakistan. And if you do the maths, आप मेरे Facebook पे comment देख लीजिएगा. If you do the maths, the chances of success is 1%, and 99% will fail. But how many people can go abroad? That's my question. Can the whole class go abroad? आप जो डॉक्टर साहिबान यहाँ बैठे हुए, जो किंग एडवर्ड, अल्लामा इकबाल मेडिकल कॉलेज और भी बाकी सारे मेडिकल कॉलेज के पढ़े हुए, उनकी 99% क्लास बाहर ही जाती थी. जिस दिन ग्रेजुएशन होती थी, 2 क्लास फेलोज की शादी होती थी अगले दिन, और अगले दिन पता चलता था कि वो दोनों लड़का लड़की अगली फ्लाइट से बाहर निकल रहे हैं. ऐसे ही होता था, अभी भी ऐसे ही होता है. बाकी कॉलेजेस में भी आप लोगों ने सबको ख़राब कर दिया. तो अब ये देखिए, ये सिचुएशन जो है, गो. और मैं हमेशा सब लोगों को मोटिवेट करता हूँ, जाएं पाकिस्तान में पैसे भेजें, ताकि हम जैसी कंपनियां, ठीक है, आप लोगों का फॉरेक्स यूज़ करें और बाहर फॉरेक्स बेचें और पाकिस्तान में इंपोर्ट करें, और ठीक है, करते रहें, हमारा तो फ़ायदा है. लेकिन वाई कांट यू पीपल you make the most out of the digital marketing, which is now convenient, easy, and it is going to be even easier. You can make an agency for 4 or 5 people. Now the new thing, which is the AI, which has come in, and the AI के अंदर भी एक और layer आ गई है. That is the agentic AI. It is an autonomous AI body, which is not nowhere near coming to Pakistan. Reason मैं आपको बता देता हूँ कि why AI still needs a lot of time, because we do not have the data. The AI is trained on the data, so we do not have the insights and the data at the moment. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि यार पाकिस्तान में AI को चलने नहीं देना. AI is inevitable. It is going to come. It is going to go beyond the prompts that you write and the ideas that you generate, but it is going to be fairly autonomous, and you will have an agent who's going to be the agency who's going to be doing your media planning agent. You will have the product planning agent. You will have the product sourcing agent. And you will have the sales agent who's going to be going to different websites. So imagine ये सारे बंदे हैं, but ये हो गए AI agents. And now these agents are creating the opportunities for you. These agents are sourcing the right product for you. These agents are telling the right trends for you. And at the end of the day, it would say, okay, should I make this sale? Which bank account should I put this in? Now, my concept of the AI is something like this. How many people have watched the program Suits? डोना किसको पसंद है? लड़के के? डोना किसको पसंद है? लड़कियों को पसंद है डोना? बहुत अच्छी बात है. इसका मतलब है कि आप उसके दिमाग को रीड कर रही हैं. So when Harvey says, how did you find this? उस वक्त वो एनालॉग्स नहीं होते, तो वो कहती है, उसका आंसर क्या होता है? I am Donna. I am Donna. So what is the concept of the agentic AI? So if agentic AI, we have one main Donna which has multiple agents working for that Donna. Then you say, Donna, okay, Donna is going to tell you, you have a meeting in UK, and I am booking your flight. You say, okay, go ahead, book it. I'm going to use which credit card should I use? Do it. And it is reading. Okay, so when you land over there, your mobile phone would automatically be loaded with an eSIM. So you're going to be using this number. So imagine, not person, Donna is telling you all that. You land over there. It's a close proximity of the airport. You have the hotel booked. And since you have to catch a meeting, I have booked a place for you in the spa where you can go fresh up, change, rush off. Your Uber is going to be standing outside. You sit over there. You go do your meeting. Once you're done with the meeting, just give me a tinkle. I'll take you out of the meeting. Your Uber would be ready and you're going to be going to your hotel. Now, ये सारा काम बगैर डोना के मैं करता रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं खुद डोना बना हुआ था. So I landed in Korea. इंचियन एयरपोर्ट पे मैंने वहीं पे स्पा में कपड़े चेंज किए, नहाए, सारी रात का ट्रैवल करके गए, मीटिंग अटेंड की, केम बैक टू द होटल, नेक्स्ट डे अगेन गाड़ी बुक कराई, आगे ये सब कुछ चल रहा है. नाउ इमेजिन whole of it, one of the sequence is missing, and that sequence is कि मैंने SIM नहीं ली. And it generally happens because you're rushing for the meeting and then you do not have the internet connectivity. It has happened to me. And so what is the concept of the autonomous AI, agentic AI? That is going to come our way. Now, why is it going to be easier for us? Because in the digital world, the data is going to be available. So sourcing materials from the international market is going to be easy. Doing the digital data usage, Facebook ka data, it's going to be easy. Selling on a certain platform, it's going to be easy. Now, I'm just leaving a thought in your mind कि आप कह रहे हैं मुझे कुछ आता नहीं है, ये मैं कैसे करूँ, ये MS टेक्नोलॉजी मैनेजमेंट मुझे थोड़ी सी इंट्रोडक्शन तो आ गई है, but how can I use it? Go search it, and I'm telling you, it is quite easy and quite possible. All you got to do is to do it. So Nike वाला जैसे कहते हैं just do it. हम लोग सिर्फ बैठ के रोना थोड़ा ज़्यादा रो लेते हैं और काम करते नहीं हैं. फिर हम कहते हैं कि यहाँ का तो सिस्टम ही ख़राब है, यहाँ पे कोई नौकरी नहीं है, इस मुल्क में कोई फ्यूचर नहीं है. ये सब चीज़ें हैं और अब मेरे पास क्वेश्चन आने शुरू हो गए. So let's ask the questions.
As you're in the domain of marketing, so every day it's changing. The market dynamics are changing from the millennial to the Gen Z and Gen Alpha. So, like, how I wanted to ask that how do you create sustainable products which are not only good because of their marketing, that you're building a perception in minds of people, but also they're sustainable in terms of their long-term growth. Their product strategy is good enough that the marketing can help it to stay relevant.
देखिए, ज़िंदगी में कामयाब होने की 2-4 चीज़ें होती हैं. मैं बेसिक असूल बता रहा हूँ. आप उससे वो बात करें जो सुनना चाहते हैं, ठीक है? आप उनके इंटरेस्ट के मुताबिक, उनकी म्यूज़िक है, पैशन, एफिनिटी है, whatever it is. So you sometimes brands create all those affinities, and sometimes the affinities are already cricket, music. जैसे कोक स्टूडियो है, उन्होंने म्यूज़िक को पकड़ लिया और वो उसके ऊपर they're building their brand around that. The moment you speak to the customer their language, in the way they think, and by virtue of your digital marketing, you're able to capture them at the time when they are watching their screen. एक ऐड आया मेरे पास, I will not tell the brand, डॉक्टर साहब को खुद ही समझ आ जाएगा. If you are 51, you need to use this product. I'm 51. I am 51 and the brand is following me. Giving me a customized, AI-driven message tha, but it straight away picked my age. This could have been if you are over 50. No, it is actually targeting me. उन्होंने वो वाला version मेरे पास आया है. If you're 51, I watched it. I did not need that. Trust me. But it was there for me. So you're speaking the language of the consumer and tell them what they need. Sometimes they want something, sometimes they need. आपको needs और wants का मतलब पता है क्या होता है? ख्वाहिशें और ज़रूरियात. ज़रूरत तो इंसान पूरी कर लेता है, कुछ ख्वाहिशात होती हैं. So marketing triggers all the wants of the people and speak their language, and they say, I want that.